All right, welcome back to the Way You Lead podcast. Stoked to have you here. Today, I wanted to share something I have been thinking about quite a lot this week in particular, which is the concept of authenticity and authenticity in leadership and our need and desire for authentic leaders and authentic people, authentic humans. So there's a couple of perspectives I want to bring in here and share. And I just want to start with the thought that is authenticity. It's like, think about how funny it is for a second that as humans we even have this conversation. Like, look around at all living things. Does the tree need to be or practice being more authentic? No. Does the dog need to work on being more authentic? Is the dog embarrassed by the way that its spots are on its fur, or the way that it scratches itself, or the way that it sounds? No. Is the bird self-conscious about the song that the bird sings? No. Does the fruit from the ground off the tree, does the fruit judge itself based on how it's distorted? No. It's us humans that come and create genetically modified organisms and genetically modified ingredients so that we can make the strawberries look pretty or make the sweet potato perfect shape. So it's or literally take the carrots out. There's a great company called Imperfect Produce that takes, because they don't put all the produce that they get from the farms on the grocery store. They take the pretty ones, and so there's like carrots that are all misshaped, strawberries, all different types of fruits and vegetables that are misshaped. They're perfectly fine. They're great nutrient content. They're totally great to consume and eat, but they don't look pretty. So there's a company called Imperfect Produce where you can order that type of produce that takes all the misfits, and it's cheaper. So I always love that, and it's just like such an irony that, like, the carrot doesn't judge itself for being different. It's like, in fact, in the natural world, we find that beautiful. As humans, we look at that and we see, wow, look how that tree is bent but still growing up, or look how there's this massive gash through it, but look how that adds a dimension to it. Everywhere in the natural world, we look at those things as beautiful because it is beautiful. It's authentic. It's raw. It's itself. Only in the human kingdom do we worry about that. Do we put these masks on? Are we worried? Do we have to teach authenticity? And this is because of our ego. This is because of our perception, our sense of self, our fear of judgment, and because we're pack animals as humans. And at the core of it all is this deep fear of ourselves on a physiological, basic level. There's this deep fear that if we upset the pack, if we do something to stand out from the pack, then we will be alone, we will be isolated, and our chances of survival will plummet, and we will be cast out, and we will die. We will be excommunicated. So that's like, we have to understand that, because that's the hardware that we're working with. A mentor of mine always said, we are ancient beings living in a modern world. The hard wiring within ourselves is wired to protect us against that. But we know today that's not the case. We have family, we have people that love us. We're not going to be isolated and cast out and die because of that. No, that's just the fear. But that's the operating system that we're working on, because that's the hardware that we're built with, and that's the operating system we've been running on. And so this whole spiritual path, this whole process, this whole idea and concept of self-leadership is about leading yourself in a different way. It's about installing and downloading a new operating system that better supports where you are in life and the state of our globe. And I know, and you know, that being your authentic self and letting those colors shine through is beautiful. And it is not going to cast you out. But we can acknowledge where that fear comes from going on camera and sharing yourself like that. Oh, what if they judge me? If they judge me, they're going to say, hey, I don't like this Josh guy and what he's talking about, what he's doing, so we're casting him out, and so he's going to starve and die alone. He's not going to find love. None of that's going to happen, right? It sounds silly when you say it out loud, but that's the core wound that we're pushing on and we're pressing on. And it makes a lot of sense. And so we have an opportunity to take that back. And a perspective that was shared with me that I really liked just this past year, which was from a wonderful, magical woman named Elsa from Iceland. Not making that up. Very true. Elsa helped facilitate she's a medicine woman. She helped facilitate a sweat lodge ceremony in Iceland with our dear friend Gretar and an Iceland retreat we were on. So Elsa from Iceland, total sweetheart. Shout out to you, Elsa. She said something that really resonated with me, which is that when we deny our authentic expression, when we put a mask on to ourselves and we block the flow of our natural expression, which is what most of us are doing out here, we are denying the universe of experiencing its very self. We are denying the essence of who God created us to be. Right? That's powerful. When we put a mask on, we're denying the essence of who God created us to be. We're saying, okay, God, I know you created me to be this person, but sorry, I'm not going to allow that to happen. Like we are thinking we are better than creation itself by masking creation. So how can we perhaps shift this, and instead of masking, instead of blocking, instead of forcing, instead of covering, how can we work on allowing that natural flow to happen? How can we work on allowing and trusting that expression of ourselves in whatever form that is, and taking off the performative mask? It's something, I mean, I'm being honest and vulnerable with you guys right now. It's something that I struggle with. It's something I constantly practice. It's part of coming onto facing a camera right now and talking and putting myself out there and posting clips on social media, because I'm putting myself in a place to be judged. And guess what? Your authentic self is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And that's really something I've been working on recently, and I've learned is that I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And if I try to please everyone, if I try to be like, I'm going to hold it all together, and I want to say the things that are going to make it, not going to piss off this person or this person, it's not going to land. It's going to feel fake. It's going to feel fluffy. It's going to feel polished, because we have that sixth sense as human beings, especially in the digital world we live in now. We have that sixth sense of what feels real versus what feels fake, of what feels authentic versus forced, when it feels like someone is doing something with an ulterior motive or has their mask on. And I'll be real with you, I'm coming back to this podcast with a new light. I've been, this is part of the process. You kind of push up against these edges, you learn, and you evolve from there. And I feel like I'm coming to this place in my content creation with this podcast, with quote unquote personal brand, where I am just fully taking the pressure off. I'm not trying to monetize it in any way. I'm just building it for the sake of building for long term. And I'm getting back to that place that feels very, very, very good with it. Because with that, there's no trying, there's no effort, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just showing up and sharing my own reflections, and some of you might like them, some of you might not like them, and that's okay too. And here's the thing, you have to be okay with when you are letting your authentic light shine through, you are, as Marianne Williamson says, you are unconsciously giving permission for others to do the same. So you are setting the example. You are setting the container, and you are showing a new possibility, which is beautiful, which is wonderful and lovely. And at the same token, you're going to trigger some people probably by being your authentic self. But here's the thing is that, and this is something I've learned too from being in the coaching space, is what if that triggering is exactly what that person needs? What if that is also in the highest good? Now, I will put a big asterisk and caveat with when you are honoring your truth and you are in what is in your highest good, and you're in a way where you're not harming anybody physically. That is a big asterisk we're going to put there, that sometimes somebody getting triggered is exactly what they need on their growth journey. And sometimes someone being able to see something they don't agree with is exactly what they need to help them either formulate a different perspective or opinion, or to double down and solidify what they do believe and what they do know. So there's clarity in that contrast. And so we would be robbing the universe and the world and God of a very important part, which is contrast, which is creating a contrasting experience for people. Sometimes is the medicine, right? It sometimes can be the medicine. It often is. So here's the thing. It's like when we really put on this mask, and it's like an eagle binding its wings, right? Or a flower closing its petals and never reaching for the sun. So this is the work. And when we are doing this and we are allowing ourselves to be our authentic selves, we're nourishing the universe. We are nourishing creation itself. We are a cooperative component with all of creation, with all of life. That is our natural state. It's like the analogy I like using from Abraham Hicks is, it's like resistance and allowing. It's like most of us, when we are being our authentic self, we are nourishing the very nature of existence and creation, and we are being a part and in harmony with it. And as Abraham Hicks talks about, I love the analogy of resisting and allowing. It's like, imagine holding a cork in the ocean. If you're in the ocean and you have a cork, it's like, when we are putting masks on and we are denying other people of our true self, of what we really think, of what we really feel, it's like we're bringing the cork down and we're holding it under the surface. And what happens when we let go? The cork jumps back up and starts bobbing on the surface. That's its natural state. And that's the same way with us. Our natural state, again, let's look around to the nature around us and within us. Our natural state is to be in harmony with creation and to be expressing in fullness with creation, with our flaws, with our scars and with our bruises and with everything. That's what it's supposed to be. That is the next level consciousness that we're stepping into, because we are leaving the world of fear and scarcity behind, and we must operate in that way, because that world of fear and scarcity, which is our biological hardwiring, that doesn't serve us right now in this day. We need to approach it from a different level of consciousness, and that's what this is, and that's what the practice is, because it is our absolute natural state. And all I know is that the more I focus on that and practice that, the more just easy it is, the more relaxing it is, the more flowy it is, because it's exhausting to try. It's exhausting to put on the mask and to put on the costume every day. Shit's exhausting. And at some point you just get tired of it. And it's a lot easier to just let it go. It's like a lot easier to just let it go. So that's the irony of it all too, is that it's like we put all this energy and effort in putting the mask on and the makeup on and saying the right things. And then we finally get back in home. It's like, oh, I can unwind. Oh, thank God I can take that off. And there's a difference between energy expenditure, like when you can be out and about, you can be expending energy and you finally get to recharge. But there's a very big difference in doing that type of, in when you're doing it in an authentic way versus an inauthentic way. And it doesn't mean changing who you are. It's the opposite. It's staying true to yourself throughout that. And knowing that, like, in different circumstances, you can show up in different ways, but like the way that, you might have a conversation with your best friend is different than your grandma. Like, sure, that's totally fine. But there's a difference between that and putting on and trying to like pretend to be a character in a certain situation that you're trying to be this person. So that's what I wanted to share today on that note of being your authentic self. And it's just like, guys, it's so clear. It's so clear to see. I don't know about you, but I totally see. It's very easy to tell when someone is using AI for writing captions or writing things. It's very easy to see what is fluff and what's real. And I just feel there is this pendulum swinging where realness and authenticity is the way. And that's, you want to stand out. You want your content to land. You want to get through to people. You want to connect. It's not about constructing the perfect background. It's not about constructing the right hook, the viral hook. It's about just authenticity, because that's what we're craving. That's what we want. That's what we need now more than ever. While we have artificial intelligence as an amazing tool, use it every single day as an amazing tool, but we can't let that artificial intelligence overwrite our authentic intelligence. And now is the time for the authenticity revolution, where as leaders, as humans, as everyday people, we are taking the masks off and we are allowing our authentic light to shine through. And through that, we are inspiring, empowering, and giving permission for others to do the same. And we are no longer denying the very essence of who God created us to be, but we are working in harmony with that vibration of creation. We are working in harmony with all of creation, with the plant kingdom, with the animal kingdom. And that is our mission. That is the practice. And one way or another, see how you can practice that. Take off the mask. It's so much easier. It is so liberating and so much more freeing. So blessings to you on this journey. And I believe in you. You can do it. It's who you're meant to be. Let the world see it. Lots of love. Till next time.